I just finished watching the first Triple G versus Kell Brook press conference to formally announce this fight, and they had the face-off and whatever. I want to give my thoughts and reaction to what I saw, and I encourage you guys to also leave your comments in the comment section below. I'll be interested to know what you thought of this press conference, particularly what you thought of the face-off. What did you think of the height difference between the two guys, and what did you think of the size difference in terms of their body size, if you could perceive any at all? Now, my reaction is this. Clearly, now we're a long way out from the fight. Both guys are not at fight weight or anywhere near fight weight yet. Kell Brook is weighing, I believe, in the 170s at the moment. So he's way, way above the fight weight. So, it's hard to gauge accurately at this point in time. But I can tell straight away, and we should have known this anyway. Everybody should have known this anyway. There is nowhere near the size difference between these two guys that there was between Amir Khan and Canelo. Canelo just looked massive next to Khan. I'm not talking about his height, just everything else about him, his neck, his arms, his shoulders, even the size of his head. Everything about him just looked massive next to Amir Khan. With Brook and Golovkin, Golovkin looks bigger, but not massively bigger. Golovkin is not a guy that has particularly broad shoulders for a middleweight, for his height. There was a height difference there. Brook, I believe, is listed as 5'9", Golovkin 5'10.5", and it looked about that. But again, you don't know what shoes both guys are wearing. Maybe Golovkin had some really, really flat type shoes with a thin sole, and maybe Brook was wearing shoes that had more of a thicker sole. I don't know. So it's hard to really tell what the size difference is actually like until they're both in the ring. But yeah, I think I can safely go as far as saying that the size difference is nowhere near as big as it was with Canelo Khan. And again, everybody should have known that anyway, because Kell Brook has been a career-long welterweight. He was even a welterweight, when he finished up his amateur career. So a guy who's been making welterweight that long is obviously going to be bigger than a guy who started his career at lightweight. We'll see how it goes, man. A lot of people are interested to find out what weight Kell Brook's going to come in at. Will he actually weigh in at the 160 limit, or will he come in a couple of pounds under 160? People are talking about how much he weighs now. Apparently he came into camp over 180 pounds, and now he's in the high or mid 170s. So he's got a long way to go. But I guess it's an indication of how much this guy blows up in between fights. And I have seen Kell Brook looking kind of fat in between fights. Let's not get it confused. It's not like he's just blowing up and looking in terrific condition. He's blowing up and looking pudgy a lot of the time. But as he is right now, he don't look particularly pudgy in the high 170s or the mid 170s. He looks, like a normal guy on the street. You wouldn't think he's particularly overweight or anything like that. So if he's coming into the ring in the high 160s, low 170s, he might actually look in fairly good condition. So we'll wait and see. And will that be the strategy? Is he looking to come in the low 170s on fight night? And people are talking about this IBF rehydration limit. The IBF rehydration limit is for the morning of the fight, not for the night of the fight. So both fighters are not allowed to weigh any more than 170 pounds on the morning of the fight. On the night of the fight, they can weigh whatever the hell they like. So yeah, the IBF check weight the morning after the fight, don't get that confused and think that it's a rehydration limit for the actual fight itself, because some people seem to be getting it twisted there. Anyway, leave your comments in the comment section below. What did you think about the press conference and face-off? What do you think about the weight situation? What do you think Kell Brook will come in at the weigh-in? Will he come in close to 160, bang on 160? And what do you think he will weigh on fight night? HBO normally get the actual weights of them on the night of the fight in the ring, or, just a couple of hours before they go to the ring, they normally weigh them. So we have a good idea of what they're weighing in the ring. What do you think is going to weigh then? And what do you think would be an ideal weight for Kell Brook to give himself the best chance of beating Triple G? There are a couple of channels out there and a couple of people out there who are picking Kell Brook for the upset. I think that's a that's a pretty tall order for Kell Brook. But one thing that's really surprised me is that the odds in the bookmakers are much shorter than I expected. I expected it to be like maybe at least 7, 8, maybe 10 to 1 odds for the upset. But apparently Kell Brook is as short as 4 to 1, 3 to 1, 4 to 1, 5 to 1, around there. And that's pretty short odds as far as I'm concerned. I really thought it would be longer odds than that. Maybe the bookmakers know something that I don't. So yeah, drop your comments in the comment section below, people. Let me know how you feel about everything I talked about in this video. All right, it's your boy Hatman, I'm out.